I'm Kelly Scott. I'm a co-founding partner of Cauldron Fermented Foods, and this is my home fermenting operation, my tiny little fermentorium. This is actually my pantry, and I've kind of invaded. So I have a few projects going on right now. I also have some finished projects I can show you in a bit. Today I'm actively working on making yogurt, so I have my yogurt incubator out right now. Doesn't look like very much, but this is a Yogotherm, and it's essentially just an insulated cooler, and there's a bucket that fits in here that I actually culture the milk in, and then when it's all good to go, I put it in here, and then it stays warm in here. You want to keep it between 105 and 112 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'll put it in here. When it's cool or drafty, I'll wrap it in a blanket. If I'm really concerned, I'll stick it on top of my heating pad to keep it warm. But this is a good way, without using electricity, to keep my yogurt at the right temperature for the 5 to 12 hours that I want to culture it. Once the summer comes, I won't have to use the heating pad anymore, and it'll be a no electricity operation, so that'll be nice. This is my kombucha culture. Might not be able to see the SCOBY from here, but I've had this going continuously for about 6 months. It's in an awesome handmade fermentation crock from Jeremy Oguski. I got this at the Fermentation Festival last year, which was really great. And I love this beautiful crock, and I always make my kombucha in here because it's nice and open, and so tons of air can get in and let all the bacteria do their thing. I also have some apple cider vinegar. This is pretty much done. I just did this in a jar when I had apple peels left over from making applesauce. I then just turned it into basically cider and then just gave it lots of air so it would become vinegar. And it's got a happy mother floating at the bottom. This is my most recent favorite, I suppose. These are curried carrots. They're really good, really spicy. I did them right in here because I had a abundance of carrots. I still do, actually. And there's lots of peppers in there as well. It's nice and spicy. Made my own curry blend for that, so that was really nice. And I like the big Fido jar because it has just a good airtight seal. When it was a little fuller, I didn't really have to worry about things floating because the shoulders were kind of holding things in place, so I didn't even really have to worry about keeping things submerged when I did these. It just kind of kept itself going really well. And then I have some veggie ferments that I have some different systems going on right now. These are ginger carrots. I actually did not put any type of weight on them because they just sank to the bottom. So that was good enough. At first they floated a little bit and I just would push them under if I was worried, but for the most part they just stay at the bottom, so I didn't worry about putting a weight on top of them like I normally would. These are some jalapeno peppers. This system, I just have a plastic bag full of brine on top, and that is just keeping the peppers under the brine. And it's full of brine in case it leaks, so it doesn't end up diluting the brine in the pickles at all. So that is an easy system for me. Some people like to use like a bag of marbles or something like that. For me, it's just easiest to do a plastic bag of brine and just keep that on top. And then I started these last night, actually. These are just garlic cloves whole that I'll just end up using in cooking and things. And for this, I actually used a Fermentools system. They have a great beginner's fermenting kit that fits onto a wide-mouthed jar that has the stainless steel top, so it's not going to corrode when the brine gets really acidic. And it has a matching gasket and airlock system, and I decided to airlock these because I suspect they probably smell a little bit because it's garlic. So to contain anything I think is going to stink a lot, I'll use an airlock, but most of the time I don't worry about using an airlock for my at-home ferments because I can just keep an eye on them, and I try not to have so many projects going that I can't remember to take care of them. And then I have my sourdough starter. It's looking a little sad these days. I might have to restart this guy. I had a lovely one going in New Jersey, and it didn't seem to like the move to Boston. So I might have to pitch this one and start again. I'm determined to make it work, but a sourdough starter is generally really easy. Never had any problems until now. I think that's everything that I have in here. Yeah. So I can show the fridge. Alright, so this is what's living in my fridge right now. I do have a couple dormant cultures in here, as well as a lot of finished products. Today I'm making some yogurt, so I'll be using this pretty soon. This is my starter culture, just save some from every batch and hold on to it for the next time. So this is what I'm going to be using to inoculate this new batch of yogurt. I have my kefir grains in here, milk kefir. I was going through a phase where I was drinking a lot of it, and then I decided to take a break from it once I started making yogurt, so it's dormant right now, but the grains I think are still alive. If they're not, I'll find a friend with some alive grains and start using them again. I'm going to make some cultured butter with that sometime soon, so I'm excited about that. I've got some krauts of different varieties. I have a red and a white kraut. The red kraut is probably about 6 months old, and I haven't touched it in a while, so I'm curious to try that again, see what that's tasting like these days. I also have some hot sauce that I did at about Christmas time, and it's April now, so it's about 4 months old. This was really good, not too spicy. The peppers really mellow themselves out during the fermentation process, which is great. I have some more of those ginger carrots that I have still actively fermenting. This was from the same batch. I'm letting those other ones get very sour, so this should be fun. And then these actually are one of my oldest ferments. I just keep kind of letting them go to see how they change over time. I made these in July, I believe. So they're coming on a year old, and I'm just kind of giving them some time, but they're pickled chard stems. I use my fermentation as a way of preventing food waste a lot of the time, and so ends that I'm not necessarily going to cook with, I will pickle, and chard stems were really delightful. They were rainbow. Now they look a little brown because they're a little old, but they still taste really good, and they're getting really, really tangy. This fun bright pink one was watermelon radishes and celery, and the celery has taken on the color of the radishes, so everything in there is kind of a bright pink at this point, which has been really fun. I have my whole container of kombucha back here, which is a little difficult to see, but this is where I put my finished product and just pour it off as I'm ready to drink some. It's a little empty right now. I need to make a new batch. And what else do I have? I've got some wonderful firecracker carrots and some dilly beans, which we just finished working on together. And so those are pretty fresh at this point. And I think that that's most of what I've got. Oh no, I've got some cucumber pickles from last year too, which I actually, to keep them crispy, I used a tea bag. So their brine is bright brown because, well, dark brown, I should say, because I essentially made tea to keep them crispy, because tannins are great for cucumbers, and I didn't have oat leaves or cherry leaves, but I did have tea bags, so I used some tea to make those pickles. And I think that's everything that I've got in here.